A NewsNation political contributor on this, A. Scott Bolden, a former D.C. Democratic Party chairman. Scott, it is always good to see you. I'm glad you're joining us on this. What are you tracking here? What does this quiet testing by the Biden camp mean? Are they preparing for him to possibly drop out?
Well, if you believe all the reports that are coming out of the Biden campaign through the press, you know, those leaks are real leaks. I mean, you're not just making this stuff up. And so it's almost like a death watch, drip, 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 as some of my colleagues have called it. But you don't know until you know. And the reason that's the case is because Biden has all the leverage. He's got to give up his delegates. He's got to withdraw, maybe even resign from the presidency. He wouldn't want to be a lame duck while his vice president's running at the top of the ticket, but who knows? But lots of uncertainty. But the one thing that is certain is this, that time is passing, and either the decisions are going to be made by the leading Democrats to talk to Biden, or those decisions are going to be made without Biden, one way or the other, whether it's a floor fight or whether it's a opposition en masse. I think it's interesting that Jeffries talked to the president last night. I'm sure he shared with the president everything he's hearing and feeling. But the best part of that conversation had to be, and we don't know, had to be, Mr. President, I think you should do A, B, or C, or Mr. President asked Jeffries, you know, what he thinks he should do. That's the conversation you want to get a report on, and we don't have that yet.
You know, and meanwhile, we're seeing the Republican group continuing to focus on Kamala Harris. That's increasing. And we heard Trump talk about Harris specifically at a rally this week. Let's take a quick listen to that together.
If Joe had picked someone even halfway competent, they would have bounced him from office years ago. But they can't, because she's got to be their second choice.
And he has already given her a moniker, Laughin', Kamala Harris. How do you think Harris would do against Trump?
Well, if you believe all the polling, she's either tied ahead of him or very close. Kamala Harris is going to be a problem for the Republicans, because the Republicans and Trump campaign have set their whole game plan over the last 2 years against Joe Biden, not against Kamala Harris. And so now you can see that they're concerned about Kamala possibly being at the head of the ticket, because now they're attacking her. But she's going to be a problem for them because she's an attractive candidate. She's bright. She's capable. She can prosecute the case against Trump. She's got $240 million worth of reasons to do it. But more importantly, the Democrats have been leaking black and brown voters. They've been leaking gay voters. They've been leaking women voters, young voters, if you will. She's super popular with the Democratic base. That coalition is going to come back. That leaking is going to stop, including the black and brown base, who would love to see the first black female president in place. That's going to motivate the Democrats. Those are all wins. Now, that's going to motivate the Trump base, too, because they're going to play the race card or the DEI card. And so we've seen this game plan before with Barack Obama. So if Kamala Harris is the top of the ticket, she's got to implement the Barack Obama plan and keep it moving. This is all about getting out the vote. Whoever gets the vote out better, whoever does Go TV better, given how close this race is, they're going to be the winner in November.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. And you brought up diversity here. I can certainly see how Harris at the top of the ticket could really galvanize and motivate a lot of people in this country. She could have broad support from the party, certainly. This is an uncomfortable question. Is there a swath of this country, of voters who are not ready for a woman of color president?
There's a swath of voters who aren't ready for a woman to be president. There's a swath of voters who aren't ready for a gay Democrat or Republican to be president. That's the reality of America. We have never solved the race question. In fact, we're still uncomfortable discussing the race question, but more importantly, we're still one of the most segregated communities and countries and parts of our country. We're very segregated. And so racial tolerance isn't tops on the list, even though we've been struggling with the race question. Listen, if Kamala Harris is capable, competent, a leader, smart, knowledgeable, right, and presents well, then we need to nominate and elect her to be president. The problem is that politics and Democratic politics and all politics is about getting one more vote than the next person. So your voter doesn't have to tell you, I don't like her because she's black or a woman, I'm not going to vote for her. They just vote, and it's a private vote. We saw a lot of this in the Barack Obama 8 years, but be that as it may, the reality is Kamala would be an excellent choice for the Democrats to be at the top of the ticket for all the reasons I just shared.
Okay. A. Scott Bolden, always appreciate the time and the insight. Thank you so much.